Welcome to the 1990 Southern Basketball League or Southern District Basketball League Grand Final, A-grade men's Grand Final between Norfolk and Glenorchy. Here we have Peter Brockman and Chris Massey reffing. Unfortunately, Chris has passed away since this game, but so Peter Brockman, Chris Massey reffing as Jumping Joe Hurst just scores 2 points for Norfolk. We'll go through the player list in a minute. At the moment, Glenorchy have got the ball. So Sean Flaherty has the ball there. He's number 10. We have Steve Moore and Brennan Stamwick shooting on the baseline and makes a nice 2-point shot. So I've got Sean Flaherty, Steve Moore, Curtis Coleman, Marco Van Buren, and Brennan Stamwick on the 5 for Glenorchy. And for Norfolk, we have Scott Perkins, Jumpin' Joe Hurst, who just got another 2 points. We've got Scott Vinan, Scott Perkins, and Craig Gower. So a lot of experience on both sides, and it should be a ripper of a game. And just to let everyone know, we're commentating this game 30 years after it took place. So it's now 2020, but we thought we'd put this game on for YouTube for everyone to have a look at 30 years later. So see how we go. I'm with expert commentator from the NBL1, Ronnie Riggs. Welcome along, Ronnie.
Great to be with you, Glenn, and great that we can go back down memory lane once again and commentate an old school game from back in the day.
When you were in nappies still, I think, mate.
I was 3 when this was happening.
You would have just got out of nappies. Still could have been in toddler nappies. Here we go, Marco Van Buren over to Brennan Stamwick for a nice easy 2 points as Glenorchy take the lead 5 points to 4. We've got Craig Gower bringing the ball down the court, passes over to Vinan, steal by Steve Moore. Steve Moore passes over to Curtis Coleman, nice pass back to Steve Moore for 2 points.
Good transition play there, and really good teamwork there in confusing the defence again, the 2 points.
Yeah, there's a lot of very skilled players in both teams here, so it's going to be good to watch. Curtis Coleman is known for his flamboyancy, and he's one of just such a great passer. So as there was a nice pass, I think it was from Scott Vinan over to Jumpin' Joe Hurst, who started off the game really well. I think he's got 6 points or 7 points thus far. Brennan Stamwick for another 2-point shot, misses. Joe Hurst with a rebound. Over to Scott Vinan, who will bring it up for Norfolk.
A packed crowd here too, Glenn. It's really good to see they're packed to the rafters here at the Moonah Sports Centre.
Yeah, always had good crowds back in the 80s and early 90s, and obviously we can see that there's standing room only up in the bar area, and then at the end of the court and both sides are packed, so it's great to see. As Craig Gower misses a 3-point shot, but lucky enough, Joe Hurst rebounds and gets another 2 points.
Joe Hurst dominating early so far in this ball game, Glenn, and certainly going to be a tough matchup tonight.
Yeah, he's a class player. The year before this game was played, he was the MVP of the National Basketball League. So as Curtis Coleman gets a nice 2 points there, takes the lead to 9 points to 8. So Joe Hurst has got all 8 points for Norfolk at the moment, and hopefully he'll get a little bit of help from the other guys who are all capable of scoring and have scored really well throughout this season. So we've got Scott Vinan, who's a very good offensive player. Scotty Perkins is a next state player. Craig Gower, he's played A-grade for a lot of years, so they've all got a lot of potential. And Simon Ramsey as well, who's a great outside shooter and a really good offensive player. So Norfolk have got the firepower. However, Glenorchy are just as skilled at the offensive end and defensive end, so should be a ripper of a game. Marco Van Buren misses that one. Over to Curtis Coleman with the rebound. He missed. Joe Hurst got another rebound, so he's doing well offensively and with the rebounds in the defensive end. As Craig Gower passes over to Scotty Perkins. There's a steal by Marco Van Buren. Sean Flaherty over to Stephen Moore for another 2 points. Great teamwork there from Glenorchy to...
Yeah, good transition there, and Stephen Moore finishes with the layup. I did notice in the play phase before, it looks like Norfolk gone to a little bit of a zone defence there, Glenn.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only way they can... they just want to try and slow Glenorchy down at the moment. So, so hopefully the defence works for them.
Oh, whistle in the background there, Glenn. Looks like it went out of bounds.
Yeah, I think Brendan Stamix might have thought it was out already and grabbed the ball to take it on the sideline before it had bounced out. So good pick up there by the referee, and I'm not sure if Brendan understood the call, but that's what happened. Here we've got Craig Gower for a 2-point shot in the baseline, misses. Rebound by Steve Moore, over to Brendan Stamix. So there's a lot of talent there. Basically, the 5 that are on the court for Glenorchy have all played either... 4 of them have played National League for the NBL. So Steve Moore, Marco Van Buren played later in the NBL, Brendan Stamix, and obviously Curtis Coleman. Scott Vinan missed the shot there. Steve Moore with the rebound, over to Sean Flaherty for a nice fast break. So they're running the ball really well.
Some good outlet passes and really good running of the lanes here, which is really showing some good fast break basketball.
It is, and these guys have played together for a long time, so it's really good to see this teamwork, in this grand final. As Joe Hurst has a nice 2-point shot there, must have had his foot on the line. So Joe Hurst is in for a big night tonight. He's got, I think, all 11 of their points thus far. As Curtis Coleman's fouled by Joe Hurst. Referee Peter Brockman has called that, and it's side ball to Glenorchy. And I think we've got Ray Stearns coaching Glenorchy as well.
Okay.
Which is great to see Ray. Unfortunately, he's passed away, but it's great to see him on the sidelines coaching this team, this Glenorchy team. Brendan Stamix for 3, misses. Marco Van Buren, offensive rebound, misses. Brendan Stamix with a tip-in.
Nice work there by Glenorchy to be active on the O boards and to not give up on that play. Good job.
As the ball goes out off Scotty Perkins, so Sean Flaherty will bring it up for Glenorchy. Nice pass inside to Marco Van Buren, who gets fouled. 2 points to count and 1 shot. So
it's just good vision from the floor. That was an excellent pass inside. That pass was at least about 40, 50 feet.
Yeah, Sean Flaherty's a very good point guard, and he's a really good shooter as well, and has been a very good player in the Hobart League for a number of years now. Went through state teams as well. So and Marco Van Buren, it's good to see Marco get into the game.
One of the tallest players out there on the floor there, Glenn.
Yeah, unfortunately he missed his foul shot, but
now there's a foul here on the play, I think, Glenn.
I think that was on Steve Moore, who fouled Scotty Bynum. So it's New Norfolk ball on the side. Chris Massey, referee, has it passes over to Scott Vinan, and the ball is ready to be inbounded. So good pressure there from Glenorchy to try and deny that pass. Vinan for the drive, gets blocked by Steve Moore. That's a big block there. As Joe Hurst goes in and misses the shot.
He couldn't get that one to go.
Hand. And the ball come off New Norfolk, and it's Glenorchy ball. So it's a really fast-paced game, Ronnie.
Yeah, it certainly is. A bit of run and gun by both teams at the moment.
Yeah, and it's just good, as we talked about, with the referees not having to touch the ball in the backcourt if there's no foul. Just off and out of bounds. It's great. It does make the game go so much quicker back then. So Tristan Claxton has the ball. Vinan for 3. Oh, bad luck. Sean Flaherty for the rebound. Another fast break from Glenorchy. We've got Steve Moore. Goes for the lap, gets fouled by Scott Perkins, and Steve Moore is going up for 2 shots.
I think the good thing here is what Glenorchy are doing. Once that shot goes up, they send a couple to the boards, and then they've already got a couple hitting the break already. So that just sets them up for that transition opportunity. So really good job there by Glenorchy, and good running there by Steve Moore to get on the break and get that one. And pity he couldn't finish that off on the strong play.
Yeah, it is true too. Their fast break was always a big part of their game. Like, everyone boxes out and then they go. So Steve Moore hits both foul shots. So Simon Ransley bringing the ball down for New Norfolk. Over to Tristan Claxton. Claxton's trying to look inside to Joe Hurst. Nice pass inside from Tristan Claxton over to Jumpin' Joe, who's off the line for 2 shots after being fouled by Steve Moore.
Again, so New Norfolk on that play face, just dumping it inside very quickly and catching Glenorchy a little bit off guard there, Glenn.
Yeah, Joe Hurst is he was an amazing player, so it's really hard to stop him. They almost need to double team him to slow him down. And even then, I think back then Joe Hurst was that good that you could put 3 players on him, he'd still be hard to stop. So they've done the right thing here. Steve Moore spouted him and put Joe at the line, and he missed that first foul shot, although he's very reliable usually. So hopefully he'll make the second, as he does.
Spot on there.
And I'm looking forward to seeing some of the passes. Like, Sean Flaherty's got a number of assists already, but Curtis Coleman usually, as Marco Van Buren gets a nice shot in, Curtis Coleman normally does some really good no-look passes. So a bit of showtime for Curtis Coleman. So hopefully in this game he'll be able to, show us some of those passes like what I'm talking about.
Glenorchy out to a 10-point lead, by the way, 21-11.
Nice shot there from Scott Vinan.
Make that 21-13.
Very good player back in this day. He was playing for the Hobart Hornets, as was Steve Moore and Marco Van Buren at this time. Glenorchy moving the ball around really well. Marco Van Buren inside for a nice easy bucket.
Just utilising that, looks like a bit of a match-up zone there that they were going into there, Glenn, and that opens up that little hole there for Van Buren to get inside.
Yeah, and Marco, he works really well under the basket, both ends of the court, so it's good for his confidence to get a couple of shots in early. It's great to see this crowd for local games.
Oh, absolutely.
You're looking at 800 plus people, I reckon, at this game. So there's people up the top, both ends of the court, down the bottom, so that's really good to see. Simon Ramsey for the shot at the right-hand side of the key, misses.
Jumping Joe nearly had a tip in there.
Stamix threw it all. It's a turnover here.
Pass. Oh, if you don't mind, Jumping Joe Hurst with a 2-hand jam.
He nearly hit his head on the ring then, Joe
Oh,
did.
my word. He got some hops there, Glenn.
Great pass from Scott Vinan. There's another beautiful pass there
great
from
play.
Sean Flaherty. I think it was over to Steve Moore.
Great play by both teams. Joe Hurst with a dunk down one end and a good pass from Flaherty to Moore to finish off that mini alley-oop.
Now that was a great dunk by Joe Hurst. So hopefully he does a couple more of those, and everyone can just see the jumping ability that we all got used to seeing all the time. As he gets up
On
again
cue here,
for
Glenn.
another rebound. Ooh, a lot of contact. Oh, Joe Hurst for a fadeaway. Misses. Brennan Stamix to the rebound. Got a fast break again.
Lovely play by Glenorchy.
Steve Moore finishes. He's one of the best finishers and one of the best local players that Hobart's ever seen, really, Steve Moore. He's such a smart player, so it's great that we're able to see Steve back in his prime in this game. Oh, big bump there between Sean Flaherty and Brennan Stamix.
Bodies flying everywhere, Glenn.
Quick and nice pass from Simon Ramsey over to Scott Vinan for 2 points. So great teamwork from both teams. And the score, they're pretty free-flowing, 27-17 with 9.5 minutes to go. Curtis Coleman misses, and Curtis has fallen over.
Oh, look out.
Oh, what are you doing, Curtis? Get up, old boy. Now we've got Scott Vinan with the ball, guarded by Steve Moore. That's a good contest. They're both, as I said, Hobart Hornets players and very good players individually. Moore, another fast break here for Glenorchy, and Sean Flaherty slowed down, and Simon Ramsey's just made contact in the back of Simon Ramsey's hit him in the back, so that's a smart play by Flaherty.
And as we talked about in the previous memory lane game we did, where one of the players again slowed down, protected himself, drew contact, and in those days you'd get the and one on most of those plays.
Yeah, it's a smart play, and the referees realise there's a foul, so good call. And but Flaherty missed the foul shot, so Scott Vinan over to Craig Graham and Scotty Perkins. Over to Craig Graham again, who they're all looking inside to see if they can get the ball to Joe Hurst. As Craig Graham has a shot from the baseline, misses. Curtis Coleman with the rebound over to Sean Flaherty. Steve Moore inside to Marco Van Buren. Brennan Stanwicks and Marco Van Buren are trying hard at the offensive end. However, Scott Vinan and Craig Graham with the ball over to Scott Vinan. Unfortunately, his layup miss. Curtis Coleman over to Sean Flaherty. Backdoor to Brennan Stanwicks. Great teamwork. Sean Flaherty is a class player and has got a great great basketball IQ for him to be able to get these inside passes to his teammates.
They're just catching New Norfolk on the back door here, really, Glenn, and transition as well.
Brennan Stamets, big foul there from Scotty Perkins. Brennan for the line for 2. Scotty Perkins just tapped him on the backside to say, cheers, mate, I didn't mean to foul you that hard. And they were pretty good mates back then, so Brennan was okay with the contact, and he's at the line for 2 shots.
Of course, Brennan, a pretty good free throw shooter.
Very good free throw shooter. Just a very good shooter all round, actually. But 3 throws, he was normally very consistent, and then he misses on us.
Oh, have we put the mockers on him already, Glenn?
Say nothing good about you. No. And that's a rarity.
Oh,
gosh.
we might have put the curse on him, I think, Glenn.
You won't see that too often for Brennan going 0 for 2 from the 3-throw line. However, Steve Moore's got a steal, and we've got Sean Flaherty inside Justin Clark, but it went through Justin's hands, unfortunately. And we've got a New Norfolk ball with Scott Vinan bringing the ball up the court.
Both teams just rushing on each possession there, causing turnovers at both ends of the floor.
And almost another one hand as Marco Van Buren deflected the ball, but it went outside. So Scott Perkins on the inbound over to Craig Graham. Perkins, could have been a foul around the back then. Now we've got Joe Hurst with the ball. What's he going to do? That's a 3-pointer. Misses. Big rebound there by Marco Van Buren. And we've got Brennan Stamets bringing the ball up the court for Glenorchy.
Would have left him alone, Glenn.
Yeah, that's better, Brennan. Thanks for putting that one in.
That's a good shot. No one came up to him, Glenn, and he just took the shot and knocked it down with pure confidence.
Yeah, and that
foul there.
Vinan's been fouled then. Yeah, Brennan Stamets, as we sort of talked about, is a very good offensive player, a very good all-round player, and you can't leave someone like Brennan Stamets open at the top of the key for a shot like that, because he's going to nail it 9 times out of 10. As he did just then.
Oh, absolutely, and that's where you just got to get a body up on him here. I can see a few of the Tassie boys there too. Obviously, Nationals must be around the corner, Glenn.
Yeah, it looks like Ben Armstrong and Quinton Radeye, I think it is. So good to see some of the young guys there getting ready to represent Tasmania. I think the Nationals were the following day at Moonah. So
yeah, they've all got their state jackets on, so good to see them in attendance.
Paul Crombie could even be in there as well.
He could, PC could well be there.
We have Brennan Stamets again on the corner of the key, misses. And Steve Moore.
Good save.
Great save there. As Brennan Stamets calms it back down. Now we've got Grant Emmett at the point. Over to Marco. Brennan Stamets inside to Justin Clark. There's a foul from Tristan Claxton. He must have got him with a body. It looked pretty clean up top. But
you could just hear the crowd saying, someone said rejected. So the referee's more saying foul on the body, using their body there.
Yeah, I think the foul was there, but the spectator on the sideline was probably just looking at the ball getting blocked, but forgot to look at the body contact that Chris Massey, the referee, was able to see, because he was probably 5 feet away from it. Justin Clark for the second shot.
And of course, the other referee, Peter Brockman. Peter Brockman had a pretty successful refereeing career. He had a bit of an 8-year hiatus as well too before he came back and refereed some Seabull games.
Yeah, no, he's
in his
a great
time.
referee. He achieved a lot for down in Hobart and Tasmania. So one of the best refs that Tassie had sort of ever seen. So as Steve Moore gets to steal, passes over to Grant Emmett for the fast break. So Glenorchy getting a lot of points off the fast break in this game, and I think that's the difference in the scoreboard as Scotty Perkins misses and Joe Hurst with the offensive rebound
nice tip in.
So it's Joe Hurst is racking up the numbers now, isn't he?
Oh my word, he'd be in double figures now, Glenn. He's having a really good game so far.
Marco Van Buren shoots from outside. Steve Moore fakes Tristan Claxton up in the air and gets fouled. So Stephen Moore's a very smart player, probably one of the best players down in the south that's in local that could read the ball so well, read the game so well.
Has a very good basketball brain. And
Extremely. Very modest, and
Yes.
he could just do it all on a basketball court. Didn't shoot the ball much outside three-point line, but he sort of didn't need to that much because he was so good at driving, and he was really good off the ball, so he'd always be moving, and his teammates know that he'll always cut towards the basket, and he'll try and get his defensive play away from him, and that's how he scored a lot of points over his career. So one of the best players to come out of Hobart for, especially back in that era, and I think he'd still hold his own now. It's Joe Hurst gets a nice drive into the bucket, so he's really hard to stop for Glenorchy at the moment.
He's certainly having an impact on this game tonight, Glenn.
Brendan Stamix on the base, misses. Tristan Claxton with the rebound. Over to Simon Ransley. Ransley over to Craig Gower. Craig Gower just settles things down. And back out to Tristan Claxton. Over to Simon Ransley. Unfortunately, Simon missed. Jumping Joe Hurst with a rebound. And another 2 points and another offensive rebound for Joe Hurst.
He just knows where that ball's coming from. Once that shot goes up, Glenn, he's just straight onto it. Someone needs to get a body on him.
And when he jumps, he's a couple of feet in front of everyone else, isn't he? So
absolutely.
There's a beautiful pass there from Brendan Stamix down to Marco Van Buren, who puts it in over a jumping Joe Hurst. Almost blocked him. So we've got Steve Moore over to Grant Emmett. Grant Emmett's been called for a charge.
Now, does the 2 points count, though, Glenn? Let's see here.
Yeah, is it 2 points are good?
Yep.
And then it's offensive foul. And it's a seventh team foul for Glenorchy, so it'll be side ball.
Side ball because of the offensive foul?
Yeah, or baseline, sorry.
Yeah.
And that was a really good defence there from Craig Gower. He knew that where Steve Moore was going to pass the ball and held his ground and took a big charge. And although the points count, it's still good for players to put their body on the line like that.
Absolutely.
So well done to Craig Gower on that instance. Tristan Claxton over to Craig Gower. Defended by Grant Emmett. Very good play there from Craig Gower. Just knew that he got Grant Emmett up in the air and jumped into him a little bit and goes to the line for 2 shots. So.
Just got him to buy very well on that up fake, and then did that nicely. So well done to Craig Gower there.
There's a number of players that played in the Top Shot series here. Curtis Coleman is one, and Craig Gower's another. He played for one or two teams, I think, in the Top Shot series. So it's good to see these guys are still having a run in 1990 when they were playing in 1982, 83 in the Top Shot series. Grant Emmett. Back over to Steve Moore just to settle things down. Big 3-point shot from Steve Moore. Whoa, jeepers, that was miles out. That was an NBA 3-point shot, Ronnie.
Oh, absolutely. It's something I didn't see from Steve. But good.
As I said, he could shoot really well. And Simon Ramsey's another shooter as well. He got a nice shot there from the foul line. Steve Moore, another 2 points. A nice pass from Grant Emmett. This game's going pretty quick, so I've got to try and keep up.
We've got to try to get our comments in quick, I reckon, Glenn.
Joe Hurst. Nice steal there from Curtis Coleman. Good block there from Curtis Coleman. He's going to go for a dunk. Oh, no, he's missed the layup.
Oh, he missed the layup. Oh, nice little pass to...
Round the back pass
Steve
to
Moore.
Steve Moore. Good way to regroup yourself there or redeem yourself there, Curtis Coleman.
And Steve Moore has 7 points within, I reckon, a minute as well too, Glenn. He's gone 3-2-2.
He'd be racking the numbers up like Joe Hurst, actually.
Absolutely. He'd be in double figures, I reckon, by now.
And there's a foul there Peter Brockman's called, and I believe it might be on Curtis Coleman, and that'll be 2 shots to Joe Hurst because they're in foul trouble.
Oh, yes. So once you're over to 17 foul limit, it's 2 shots.
1-on-1, I think it was back
or
then.
Or was it the 1-on-1?
2 shots. Oh, he's called 2 shots.
He's called 2? Okay.
Yeah. And he was in the air, so it's a fair call.
Yep.
Good call there from Peter Brockman.
Crowd making a bit of noise too, Glenn.
They are. A lot of it's good the way that the teams were supported back in the good old days.
Makes the second.
I think when we talked about the 89 grand final, each, like there's B grade, A reserve, there's A grade, A reserve, and then under 18s in the district comp from this year on. So as Joe Hurst just throws it a bit wayward, and Glenorchy's ball. So Grant Emmett bringing the ball up the court. Must be close to half time now. Craig Gower putting on the tight defence. Good pressure there from Gower. More inside to Stamix. Stamix for a turnaround fadeaway. Misses.
Got 90 seconds left in the first half, Glenn.
90 seconds. It's Scott Vinan. Geez, that would have been a ripper. Nice pass from Scott Vinan. Joe Hurst just couldn't quite grab it though. As Steve Moore passes inside to Brennan Stamix.
Yeah, good find.
For another 2 points. And it looks like he's called a blocking foul on Craig Gower, who probably just wasn't quite there. So good call there from Peter Brockman. And Brennan Stamix will go to the line for one shot. Tough when you've got this much talent on one team. For the opposition, obviously Glenorchy have got a commanding lead of 21 points, but all their players are firing. So as Brendan Stamix just hit that shot, then we've got a sub.
The rate of scoring too, the field goal percentage would be very high up in this first half, Glenn.
Yeah, it definitely would be. I'm not sure what New Norfolk's percentage would be, but I know Glenorchy's would be up over the 60% mark. New Norfolk have had some good shots, they just haven't dropped at this stage. So, Steve Moore with another defensive rebound. Curtis Coleman, what's he going to do? Oh,
showtime in the Moonah Sports Centre. Great pass.
Great pass from Curtis Coleman to Mick Mercedes Graham. So, good finish there from Mick Graham after a beautiful pass from Curtis Coleman. So, Curtis is showing us his bag of tricks tonight.
Oh, my word,
he is. Steal again. What's he going to do this time? Curtis, he's lost it to Joe Hurst. He's stolen it back off Joe Hurst.
It's a clash of the imports here, Glenn. My goodness, who's trying to outdo who?
Steve Moore inside to Grant Emmett, who misses, and there's a foul on Grant Emmett. So there's 2 shots to New Norfolk with 23 seconds left and a 26-point lead at this stage to Glenorchy. And it just, I think, in these old games where it's a lot more fast paced, it just means New Norfolk could get on a run and bring this lead back. You just don't know, do you? The way.
But that's right. I mean, anything could happen here. I mean, the game could change quite instantly if we're not careful. As Joe Hurst makes the 2.
Interesting to see how many points Joe Hurst has got and offensive rebounds.
Yeah, the amount of times that the offensive players have gone to the rim, but then not being able blocked out by the defence, has been quite interesting to see, Glenn.
Oh, another beautiful pass from Curtis Coleman over to Steve Moore. So
a nice little backdoor play there, catching the defence.
Great backdoor play, and that's where Steve Moore was so good off the ball. Like, he takes him half a second, and his defensive players lost him. And Curtis Coleman reads the game so well.
Yep. Okay.
I'm not sure what's happened here. Oh, here we go.
There we go. Yeah, sorry, we slight technical issues, but we're right now, Glenn.
So Joe Hurst wins the tap. We've got Simon Ramsey for the 3. Unfortunately, Simon missed it. With Joe Hurst for a fadeaway. And
nice. So a nice shot there by Joe Hurst.
Joe Hurst has started the way that he finished the first half, on fire. And we're expecting Joe to get many more points if he keeps his form up. Marco Van Buren over to Curtis Coleman. Coleman at the top of the key misses. We've got a rebound from jumping Joe Hurst again. And Scott Vinan bringing the ball up the court for New Norfolk. Guarded by Brennan Stamix. Ransley. Oh, bad luck, Simon. And Tristan Claxton blocked by Marco Van Buren. A lot of contact there. No call.
Referees letting them play a little bit here in the opening minutes.
Scott Perkins misses that one as we've got Steve Moore over to Brennan Stamix. Too many passes there.
Yeah, that was really on that first pass from Steve Moore. It should have been a layup there.
Yeah, exactly. So I suppose it's a cost. The teamwork, they don't need to pass it that often, but that's just the way they sort of play, I guess. As Joe Hurst hits another 2 points, we've got Sean Flaherty bringing the ball up the court. As I said, a former Tasmanian junior guard. Very good player. Curtis Coleman misses that shot. Joe Hurst with a big rebound. Scott Bynum with the ball over to Scotty Perkins. Here we've got Ransley again. Nice pass inside to Scott Bynum, who just missed. And Stamwick settles it down for Glenorchy. It's been good. The referees have been able to let the players play. As I'm not sure who missed that shot. It might have been Brennan Stamwick, I think.
I think it was there, Glenn. Yep.
Simon Ransley, nice drive inside. Deserves that basket and it falls in for him. Nice drive, Simon Ransley.
Gets the nice friendly roll there.
Over to Steve Moore again, who puts that in. So the teamwork from Glenorchy is really probably the difference. That's the way they're passing and getting each other open is the difference in the scoreboard.
Absolutely. A nice little post move by Moore down low, down that upper end, down the canteen end of the floor here on court 2.
Yeah, it's good to see Steve showcase his moves as Joe Hurst gets another 2 points. Joe
doing it all really in this game here for New Norfolk.
So Joe's keeping New Norfolk in it, or whatever chance they've got, he's keeping them in it. As Curtis Coleman misses a shot, we've got Steve Moore with another rebound, shot and miss, and we've got a jump ball between Joe Hurst and I think it's Marco Van Buren.
Yeah. And again, the offensive team getting onto those boards quite quickly. Again, the defense not recognising there to not box out. So it's the stats on this would be very interesting to see. As
beautiful pass there, tip pass from Brennan Stamwick over to Sean Flaherty. And
good
Marco
block.
Van Buren with a block. We've got Glenorchy, Sean Flaherty over to Steve Moore.
Nice play.
A nice left-hand lap from Steve Moore. And a steal from Steve
already.
Moore.
Oh, bit of a falcon there.
I think that ball hit poor old Tristan Claxton in the face then, so luckily you regrouped it though. And we've got Marco Van Buren with a rebound. So Marco's actually not doing a bad job. He's probably not scoring that many points, but he's doing all he can to help his team as Curtis Coleman gets 2 points.
He knocks down a 2.
Scotty Perkins is bring it down. We've got Joe Hurst with Curtis Coleman. It's been a good battle thus far.
Very good battle by them two, as you say, Glenn. And this just get more better and better.
Ooh, Curtis gave another nice pass to Steve Moore, but he couldn't quite hold it. What's Curtis? Nice pass from Curtis Coleman.
Great bounce pass.
And a shot there from Sean Flaherty. He just sort of didn't even jump, so it was a complete set shot. So another, nice pass from Curtis Coleman.
You can hear the coach. I think that was the coach there saying, "Get some talk in there."
It could have been. Someone wasn't happy.
Just try it.
Not sure if it's Rodney Graham, the coach of New Norfolk.
We'll have to. I'm hoping we'll get some clarification when this game goes up online, Glenn, and hopefully the people will be able to tell us who the coach was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Rodney Graham. I'm pretty sure I saw Ray Stearns for the coaching Glenorchy, but it'd still be good to. I'm sure the players will let us know.
Oh, absolutely.
Joe Hurst has got another 2 points, so he's really troubling the score sheet person as Brennan Stamwick passes to Marco Van Buren, but unfortunately it just went through Marco's hands. Hurst again, short. Scott Bynum with a nice left-handed layup finish. Another offensive rebound there. So there's a lot of players that are finishing off from offensive rebounds in this game. Curtis Coleman loses the ball and Joe Hurst comes down the court over to Scotty Perkins. Not sure who shot that.
Not sure it went in though, Glenn.
Look good from here.
Yep, my word.
Sean Flaherty bringing the ball. Good pressure there from Scott Perkins. Oh, he's got no help there. And Marco Van Buren finishes off.
He got the 2 there for what we could see on the vision.
Hurst defended closely by Curtis Coleman. Good
A
foul there.
foul.
Good
Yep.
foul there from Curtis Coleman. He realised that Joe Hurst was going to get around him, and Joe Hurst was probably going to dunk. So, good foul there. I think that's probably only Curtis's first or second foul for the game.
Yeah. And again, just having a look around here at the Moonah Sports Centre, Glenn, nothing's changed.
Not much has changed.
Not
I think
much
it's just
has
the paint-
changed.
The paint colour
The
has
paint,
changed.
the paint colour has changed. But when I first came to the Moonah Sports Centre back in 2004, we still had the blue all around the stadium here. And that Coca-Cola sign as well too. That was still up back when I first came here.
I think
Came
that's
here.
probably the only thing that's changed, the colour, where the blue is now, and the scoreboard
The scoreboard's changed
changed a
over
little
time.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had 3 different versions of the scoreboard. So we're seeing obviously one of the first versions, and then obviously the second version was a little bit more bigger. And then of course
This one that we've got now is really skinny and small.
small, so yes, that would be the third version.
Isn't it? So it is Ray Stearns coaching there, just right next to the bench, which is great to see. Unfortunately, Ray's no longer with us, but he had a great coaching career, and he was a really good player as well, and did some great things and played for the Devils, etc. So good to see Ray on this one, and Chris Massey again refereeing. Says Scott Vining gets a nice shot from the corner of the key. Oh, we're not sure what happened then.
It might have been a miss, I reckon, Glenn, down there where cameraman obviously just
Jumping Joe Hurst.
Oh, yes, sir.
I think he dunked on Marco Van Buren's head then.
Kind of went baseline and kind of spin for a near 180 jam.
Very impressive.
Great work by Joe Hurst. And that's what the fans are here to see, Glenn. Some of those athletic dunks by Joe Hurst.
And the crowd really appreciate these players here as Hurst comes down again. What's he going to do?
He's stand by. Oh, the Alabama slammer. A bit of a kind of a gliding kind of dunk there. Or the Statue of Liberty, potentially.
The Statue of Liberty dunk. I haven't heard of that one before.
I'm trying to
That's
think
a
of
new
some
one.
names there for his dunk. But that was a beautiful dunk by Joe Hurst.
Oh, it was indeed. Hopefully he'll dunk again, because the first two those last two were really good. So that's his third dunk of the game, isn't it, I think? He dunked
Yeah, his
one in
third
the
dunk.
first half.
Yep. He's had 2 in this second half, Glenn.
Nice easy way to make sure your points go in.
Yeah, nothing better than a dunk, that's for sure.
There's Brennan Stamix on the base, misses. Scott Bynum with a nice rebound. Over to Craig Graham, who's gone all the way and puts it in. Nice job there from Craig Graham.
Good layup there. Well finished.
Well finished. And Steve Moore just brings it up and slows it down for Glenorchy. Over to Stamix. Stamix just looking at options. Beautiful pass inside to Steve Moore. So they ran their offense really well then. And Brendan Stamix just waiting for that open player in the middle of the key. And it was Steve Moore as Scott Vinan gets a nice drive and's fouled, and we'll go to the line for one shot.
And they're back to within 16 here. Glenn, if you can make this one, it will take it back to 15.
Yeah, it looks like they have come back. They're playing. I think their shots are just hitting a bit more now.
Yeah, as you say, I think in the first half they had some really good looks, but they just didn't drop. Where probably on any other night they would drop.
Yeah, Scott Vinan, Simon Ransley, Scotty Perkins, really were always known as really good outside shooters. So it's just a matter if they drop or they don't. But it's nice to see Scott Vinan get that 2 points then and a 3-point play. And if Marco Van Buren gets another 2 points inside. So Marco Van Buren's played a really good game this evening. And Norfolk, they just don't give up. That's what's great about it. As Joe Hurst gets fouled again, so he goes to the line. I think the point's counted.
Yep, I think, yes, the referee with the call there.
To foul on Marco Van Buren. And we've got one shot to Jumpin' Joe Hurst.
Some subs coming in here, Glenn. I think Coleman's coming back into the game here.
Yeah, Curtis Coleman's back into the game, so hopefully he'll be able to show us a bit more of that Showtime, the Showtime moves he's demonstrated thus far in this game. Joe Hurst hits another point. He has scored a number of points in this game.
My word, he has. He must be up into possibly the 30s.
He'd have to be around the 30 now, I reckon. Good pressure there from Craig Graham on Grant Emmett. Steve Moore gets another 2 points. So Steve Moore's also racking up the points. He'd be up there with around the 20 to 30 mark as well, I reckon.
Oh, clamps on one side here, Glenn.
Good boxing out there.
Good job. Oh, good.
Joe Hurst, a lot of pressure.
Oh, just straight up, two-hand slam. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, there you go, JB. That was a great dunk.
That was
there.
a
I think
great
again,
dunk.
Marco Van Buren couldn't do much more. Glenorchy were boxing out the best they could, and Joe Hurst just the pure skill of the guy
Absolutely.
was able to just just work in and get that rebound. It's Curtis Coleman has a shot. Joe Hurst with a rebound. Who's got the rebound? I think that's Brennan Stanwick's finished off then, so I think he picked up a loose ball and was able to put the 2 points in. Vinan over to Joe Hurst. Curtis Coleman for the rebound. And they're going to settle it down again.
Margins at 16 at the moment, Glenn. 75-59.
Yeah, I think whenever New Norfolk score, then it's just basket for basket at the moment. So New Norfolk need to try and get a couple of stops to bridge that gap.
Turnover here.
Curtis Coleman loses the ball. Scott Vinan takes it hard to the hole. Looks like there was some contact there, and there was. So great drive from Scott Vinan, and he'll go to the line for 2 shots. And to be able to bring the gap down to 14 if he makes them. So
yes. It looks like, I think we could see 10. I think 10 minutes to go here in the second half, Glenn.
Yeah, it must be something like that.
Yeah, just time is not.
Scott Vinan made the first shot. I just saw myself just walking past
there you go.
the camera then. The old mullet that I had.
Yes. Good to see you in attendance there, Glenn. We have a Glenn Fairfield here and a Glenn Fairfield at the stadium. Look out.
Here we go, Steve Moore with the ball. So Scott Vinan made 2 foul shots, so he's had a pretty good game as well. It's Curtis Coleman from the top of the key. One spot there that Curtis is really good from shooting is the top of the key.
That mid-range game.
He's off that dribble. He's hard to stop when he shoots off a dribble. And Curtis has got another rebound. Brings it down the court. And what's he going to do? Miss. And Marco Van Buren.
Third time lucky, no.
Just working on his offensive rebounds there. And
he just tried to get his stats up there, Glenn.
he did. As Joe Hurst.
Oh, the one-hand jam. Glenn, Joe Hurst getting through traffic and then throwing that one down.
He's hard to stop in the NBL, and so it's going to be harder in the local league. As Grant Emmett gives a nice pass to Steve Moore, who passes to Marco Van Buren for the dunk. Marco's thinking, if you can do it, Jumpin' Joe, I can do it as well.
Absolutely. It's dunk for dunk, both ends of the floor here. Offensive foul.
No score for Simon Ransley, unfortunately. And
it'll be an offensive foul here, Glenn.
Yeah, so good defence there by Grant Emmett to get that charging foul. Set himself up to his opponent to charge into him. As Grant Emmett brings it down. Looks at the shot, 3-pointer. Misses. Steve Moore could have taken a shot, but decided to settle things down and set up their offense again. As Marco Van Buren does a big travel, moves both his feet before he starts dribbling.
Yeah,
I think he faked himself out then, the big fella.
It looked very obvious from our angle, Glenn. So timeout being called.
That travel would have even been called in the NBA.
Oh, would have been. Yeah.
That's how big it was, Mr. Van Buren. As we see the score, 79-63 with 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go. So still 16 points. And if New Norfolk can get on a run, they might be able to bridge the gap. But Glenorchy seem to have the answers.
They certainly do. It's any time that New Norfolk have made a run or tried to attempt that, Glenorchy have come back and pretty much given some answers themselves. So New Norfolk asking a lot of questions, Glenorchy answering them, which is really good to see from both teams here. No let up, and really, it's going to have to be New Norfolk with a mini run here to really try to get this game back into their favour.
Yeah, and it looks like Glenorchy are focusing on slowing everyone else down but Joe Hurst. They know he's going to get whatever points he does because he's so good, but I think they're putting a lot of pressure on the other players to minimise their output. As Scott Bynum gets a great shot in up in the air. But I think Glenorchy's plan by the looks of this is to let Hurst get his 30, 40 points or whatever he may be on at the moment, but not let the other players get into, not let them get to 10, 15, 20 points for the rest of their first 5. As Brennan Stamets gets a nice turnaround jump shot.
Again, Glenorchy just with some answers here. That margin hanging out to 16.
Hurst again. Oh, nice little hook shot there. So he missed his first shot, got another offensive rebound and then put it back in. So Marco Van Buren's trying his hardest to stop him, but Joe Hurst is, he's next level. Steve Moore misses that shot there, and we've got Joe Hurst on the break again. Double dribble.
That's rare to see.
The crowd is not happy with that one at all. I think they want to see Joe Hurst slam another dunk down. Still getting booed.
Yeah.
Curtis Coleman, nice pass to Marco Van Buren, who finishes off, but gets, it's a 3-second call. So unfortunately Marco didn't get that 2 points.
The shot went up there, Glenn. I think we just missed who shot that one.
Might have been Simon Ramsey by the looks of it. Curtis Coleman, Showtime Coleman does it again. So he's had a really good game, Curtis has. Whatever he's sort of touched the ball, he's turned it into 2 points for his team, whether it's a shot or a pass. As Craig Graham gets a nice 2 points for New Norfolk.
It's end-to-end stuff here. Both teams scoring at will.
Yeah, and they're back to 12 points, New Norfolk. So they really, that last time out, I think their coach really got up and said, hey, we've got to make a run now and see if we can, catch this lead back up and have a real crack at trying to beat Glenorchy. Sean Flaherty's lost the ball. We've got Simon Ransley. Oh, unfortunately missed again. Brennan Stamets with the rebound. And Glenorchy have got the ball and taking it up the court again is Steve Moore. Steve Moore just passed it to the opposition then. Over to Craig Graham from New Norfolk. As Craig Gower has a shot and misses. Steve Moore again, he's everywhere. Steve Moore is. Beautiful pass over to Marco Van Buren.
That's the pass you wanted to do, I think, on the previous play, Glenn.
That was a great pass. You're correct there. That's a great pass. So Stephen Moore has really played a fantastic all-round game in this grand final thus far. We've got Curtis Coleman applying good defence to Joe Hurst.
Oh, in and out there for Hurst on the three-pointer there.
Just missed. We've got Grant Emmett bringing it up for Glenorchy. Double team, so...
Trying to maximise a little bit of pressure here, New Norfolk.
Stanwix for the drive, misses. Steve Moore.
They missed everything.
Scott Bynum brings it down. There'll be a foul on Steve Moore just to slow things down. Got Sean Flaherty coming back on the court for Grant Emmett. I'm not sure who the coach of New Norfolk is. It's not Rodney Graham because the man standing up is way taller than Rodney Graham. So here we go, 14 points. We've got 4 minutes to go. Joe Hurst for another dunk.
Just stand and deliver there by Joe Hurst.
Just jump off the spot and dunk it.
That was pure athleticism at its best.
So that's probably Joe's 5th dunk for the night, maybe?
So I think might be 6th dunk. Might have 6 for the game already. Jumping Joe, as Curtis Coleman misses the 2.
We've got Scotty Perkins. Oh, bad luck, Scotty.
He's well saved, though.
as Sean Flaherty brings it up for Glenorchy. Nice defence there from Craig Gower. A lot of pressure put on him. Steve Moore against Scott Vinan, and Steve Moore goes through the key and gets another 2 points.
Nice drive inside by Steve Moore. Just penetrated that in beautifully and got the 2.
A lot of contact.
A lot of contact there.
It's,
no call.
New Norfolk ball on the side. It's good to see the refs are letting the players play in this one, actually.
Absolutely. Good job by Peter Brockman and Chris Massey here tonight.
Steve Moore loses the ball. Brendan Stowicks. Nice shot from Brendan Stowicks. He's had a good game as well.
He certainly has.
All players are firing for Glenorchy. There's no weak link at all. Curtis Coleman for a rebound. And we've got a foul on Scott Perkins, I think it is, or Craig Graham. The score's 89-73.
Timeout being called here. What have we got? 2:44 left here, Glenn.
Yeah.
Is there a chance for one more run? What do we think?
It'd be really hard with the talent that Glenorchy have got. It's going to be a hard task, but New Norfolk have definitely got the firepower to bridge that gap.
I think for Glenorchy, it's now the game clock is now your friend.
Yeah, especially they've got 30 seconds on the.
And of course the shot clock is as well too. So they can milk a fair bit here if they so desire.
Yeah. And they're doing just that by the looks of it. So they're just trying to get the defence to double team someone to help to get another player open. Stanwick's beautiful pass back door to Steve Moore.
Great play.
And that's what I was sort of saying about Steve Moore. Off the ball, he's one of the best that you've seen down in Hobart. He just reads the play so well. And you take your eye off him in defensive end, and then he's under the basket for 2 points, just like Brendan Stanwick's just fed him then. So great teamwork Glenorchy have displayed in this game. It's Curtis Coleman. Got it inside. Stanwick's lost the ball.
Well, there we go.
Here we go. Craig Gower over to Craig Graham. And I'm not sure what.
Not sure what happened there, but it was a turnover.
No, Curtis Coleman misses a shot he should have got in.
Oh.
Someone jumped into the crowd.
I think one of the players took out the ref there.
Oh. Oh, nice pass from Curtis Coleman. Big Marco Van Buren gets blocked by Joe Hurst.
Get that out of here.
And New Norfolk are rewarded with that block, and they've got the ball on the side.
That's a great defensive play there by Joe Hurst, Glenn. Just getting up and swatting that one away.
And we know he's one of the best dunkers that's played in the Australian
Absolutely.
NBL, but he's also one of the best blockers as well. As Steve Moore's picked the pass off from Scott Perkins, and a lot of contact there, but no call. As Brendan Stamix finishes off the 2 points after getting the offensive rebound. So they've had a lot of good players. Glenorchy, Sean Flaherty was really good early on, and Brendan Stamix and Steve Moore have been fantastic all game, and Curtis Coleman and Marco Van Buren have had pretty good games as well.
And Joe Hurst makes the play there. We'll go to the line for one. Geez, it'll be tough to give a grand final MVP too here, Glenn.
It would be. It's definitely out of, I'd say, Stephen Moore and Joe Hurst. And I think with Glenorchy being up and Steve Moore having such an influence, not just when he's shooting the ball, but just his passes and his all-round game, I think it'd be so close between him and Joe Hurst. So Joe Hurst has 47 points at the moment.
There you go. And that's point 48.
48. So Joe
He's
Hurst
2 off 50.
As we said, Joe Hurst has had a great game tonight. As Steve Moore gets another 2 points. So I think the teamwork of Glenorchy in this game's just been great. As Steve Moore picks up a steal.
Oh,
And Sean Flaherty shoots it without jumping. Marco Van Buren tries to dunk it, misses it, and puts it in. And Marco Van Buren's had a really good game.
He certainly has.
Joe Hurst, foul by Justin Clark.
Now this will be an intentional foul here.
Yeah, and I know Justin Clark wouldn't mean to ever try and hurt anybody, but it was a push in the back, and there was. We knew he wasn't going to stop Joe Hurst from scoring, but he probably fouled. What would you say? It didn't look good, did it?
No, he didn't make a play for the ball, so
It wasn't rough, but he didn't make a play.
So Joe Hurst, if he can knock down both here, he'll get 50.
So that's 49, is it?
49. This one to make 50.
Out of 77 is a pretty good effort, individual effort from Joe Hurst. Oh, 49 points.
49.
And in saying Joe Hurst has got that, he's had a lot of good passes from his teammates. He's picked up a lot of offensive rebounds where he's converted, but they also look for him really well. So credit to teammates to help him get to 49 points thus far. He's only got 28 seconds, so
yes.
I'm not sure if Joe Hurst is going to get 50 points.
I think Glenorchy will try to slow this down here, Glenn.
I think so.
Oh, no, they're going for the quick play, right. Let's see.
Craig Graham over to Joe Hurst. What's he going to do?
And that's the way to bring up your 51st point with a two-hand slam.
Very impressive once again. As Steve Moore over to Brennan Stamex, but the game is over. So final scores are 97-79. We've got Joe Hurst with 51. We've got Steve Moore with about 40 points. And now there's no commentary on this game, but this is the A reserve game between Royals and Moonah. So I think it might be Kingston. So anyway, goodbye for now. Thank you. I hope you all enjoyed the A grade game. Now, if you want to watch this A reserve game, you can, because we'll do that
up in a separate clip, Glenn. So
thanks, guys.
Dave Cook. Straight through, mate.
What was that score, Henry?
31-25.
fact, the missus over there in the opposition.
Really? What you sitting over there for?
Moonah. Dean Miller. Congratulations, Moonah. Presenting the trophies to Moonah, Kevin Anderson, Gaz Hunt, Glenn Stanfield, Dean Miller, Glenn Ford, Peter Burns, Scott Barley, Giles Smith, Malcolm New Jersey, Hayden Steele, and Michael Gray. Successful coach, Gary Hunt. Thank you,